get some... Do we get already? Are we air now? Yo! I think everyone can see us. Hello guys. Yeah, this is Haruki. Hello, and I am accompanied by Mr. Moose here. Yo. Mr. Moose is rather the latest addition to the team. You can see he's a little bit scratched, you know, on the nose and a little bit on the... But yes, just because he went into the forums and was battling some of you. So anyway, I think you can take it already out. Ta-da! Jesus.
Actually, this is just a preview of. Hi guys, by the way, it's been an intense week, as you can see by our wrinkles.
Yes.
Guys for life, just so you know. No, just so you know. And this is actually just a preview of something that you can have in the event, in the winter event.
Yes. So, but we're gonna come to that later. We have 1 hour of Twitch. And you can see the agenda here. So we are gonna, of course, talk a little bit about Tabo. We always talk about Tabo. Then we are gonna give you a preview on the release 159. So new details, new features revealed, new features that were confirmed this week that are making to the release, and one of them especially is really nice. Then we are gonna go into the winter solstice event, and we are also gonna go to the other community events, because I've seen that some people are kind of confusing one of those, but there are a lot of things coming to you guys on December. Then we will tackle the issue of the Life Keeper, and this is a weapon that it's kind of a touchy subject for some of you, so we will go a little bit more into that, what to expect, what not to expect, then our normal question and answers, and then raffle time. Great. So without further ado, let's groove with Tabo.
Okay, so yeah, it's loading, as you can see, and this is the agenda for today. A lot.
Yeah, we have like 5 pages. We actually prepare our agendas and everything.
Yeah, and as always, when we're live on Twitch, we this means also that the character Tabo, the realm magician that you know, is alive, and he's on the servers of Drakensang Online. So you can find, if you're lucky, you can find him in one of the hubs and then do, a quest with him, or maybe even PvP. And if you do so, you will get registered, and then you will be able to get the green parrot, for example. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which grants you 5% more health points, as you can read in the image.
Yes. It's an exclusive item that you can only get, through community events. So, yeah, it's a nice gimmick. Why not?
It's a nice one.
Yeah.
It's a nice one.
So,
yeah, we know that sometimes Tabo, of course, the groups in Drakensang are kind of small, like only limited to 4 people plus Tabo. Yeah. But don't worry, we're keeping Tabo for a while, so if you don't manage to find him today, don't worry. Yeah. In the next 2 weeks, you will.
Exactly. So for the next hour, make sure that you find him.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Okay, so Tabo, cool. We are going to say goodbye to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Tabo. And let's jump directly into release 159, shall we? Sneak preview. So basically, yeah, as you can see here, it's a feature that is confirmed, quick slot, the mount quick slot, and the teleport combination, it's gonna work now, which is good. So let's go back a little bit on the story of this feature. It used to be a bug, the fact that you could, press teleport plus the mount, and then you will appear in the hub on your mount. This used to be a bug, and because of that we corrected it. And then later on we said, well, actually it's so convenient that why don't we make it, back into the way of a feature. And after some, struggles and everything, we are bringing this to you on 159. It will work quick mount slot first, you click on it, then you click on teleport, and voila. You go to King's Hill, or you go to Jaltepetal, or wherever you are, and then you are already on your fancy mount, which is really cool. So this was a community wish that you guys had, and we are delivering right now.
Okay, so just so you know why I'm not talking, I'm following the chat. I'm trying to answer some of the questions while Eva is talking. Yeah, so we're through with this one?
Yeah, so basically we were talking about the release 159.
Yeah, sorry.
And of course it also comes the Parallel World Chapter 2.
Yes, and now the thing is I don't see any... I don't know if we're live.
I think we are.
Because I don't see any video.
But I see ourselves, loud and clear.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Well, since I don't see any screen on this one, I'll just continue without the screen. Okay, Parallel Worlds Chapter 2. As you know, with release 158, we released chapter 1 of the Parallel Worlds, yeah? And we also told you that in chapter 2, which is coming in release 159, so next week, we will expand on the Parallel Worlds, and what you will get, first of all, is, the new Ammon set, which is already in the game, but more importantly, you will be able to craft it, yeah? So if you, for example, played already the event Curse of the Black Knights, aka Dragon, yeah? Then you will know that certain items for the Black Warlord Regalia, you can craft it to 3 tiers, and this is exactly what you will be able to do with the Ammon set, yeah? And which means there's tier 1, which is, you know, what you know already in the game, tier 2, which is slightly better, and then the ultimate level, which is tier 3. And you won't be able to do that only with the Ammon set, because we're introducing also how many more sets actually? Sorry.
I know we are gonna have like.
Yeah, no, sorry. For 3 dungeons, we're introducing even more sets, which will also be craftable. Now, when we say sets, you know, that doesn't always mean that it's 5 items or 6 items. A set can also consist of 3 items sometimes, or 2 items.
Yeah.
So it's the sets that you will get over there are slightly smaller, but this also means that you can craft them faster to the highest tier.
That's it. That's it. And that's going to be the case. So these 3 brand new sets will come with 159. We still don't have the icons, so just consider yourselves teased with that, and they will drop with, you know, from Grimac, from Arachna, and from the Heredor.
And be sure that we will try to put them into the patch notes, and we'll give you some extra explanation on what does it look like when you craft them. Yeah?
That's it.
Okay, and you should not forget that with probably the biggest highlight with chapter 2 of the Parallel Worlds is that you get the difficulty system. Yeah, so you get 3 additional difficulties, which is hard, very hard, and extreme. Yeah, and you can imagine that whenever you play through the dungeon in a very high difficulty, that your experience, but also your loot, will increase. Well, then again, you know, if you're level 50, experience is not so much of a deal for you, but the equipment and definitely the loot is becoming better.
That's it. That's it. So this is the things that you can expect, and so let's go. Well, I mean, Greg already went a little bit into that, but of course, yeah, the crafting is important for those of you who love to craft. Some people are asking what kind of crafting this is going to be, and it's a little bit like the Dragon event kind of crafting, where you put, you know, the 4 items, you know, the same 4 items in the workbench, and then you get one that is actually a better one, and it's gonna go up till level tier. So tier 3, you start with 1, so you can upload it like 2 levels, and it won't be possible to, you know, upgrade this with the old set. The old set, you still can obtain it, but it's not really, well, it's for nostalgics, I guess. And that's it. Also, the unique boss rings that you can get from all the bosses, they can also be craftable until tier 2, so another level. And these other ones that he said, also to level 3.
If you never heard about the new rings that Haruki just mentioned, that you can get from the bosses, that's because they were implemented with the previous release, and unless you have checked the patch notes in the forum for this release, then you played through and you received one of them, and you probably never heard of them. Yeah? So check out the forum and check patch notes 158.
That's it. And some people may be thinking, hey, but what about, you know, like, can we craft other sets like the weapons of the end of time and other things like that? Well, that we will still need to wait a little bit longer. For the moment, release 159 only brings these craftable possibilities.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it's going to be the only ones that it brings. In the future, we need to wait a little bit more. So.
And we'll see how it goes, you know. If you really are not so much into crafting and you'll be like, I don't like this, then we'll probably discontinue it. But
that's it.
Let's have a look, you know. Be open for something new.
That's it. And another thing that is also bringing this 159, I am pretty aware of the fact that some people will say, okay, whatever, but we are bringing a new set, which is the Duria set. And this set is actually for, well, not the veterans, I would say, more like early rookies in the game, people who have achieved level 20 to 30, because this set will only be available for those levels. So, well, you have a twink that you want to keep on leveling up, and maybe this is a nice set for you. It's basically a scalable set, so you can obtain in level 22 and it will be level 22, but it will be only obtained between level 20 and 30. So if you hit level 31, you won't have the possibility to have this set. Sorry, and it's true. I have to make this disclaimer. They look like uniques, and they are pretty unique in such a way. They look pretty cool. You have, of course, the different icons for all the different classes and their stats and everything. They look shiny and unique, but let's say that they are in the range of the actually extraordinary items. So just for you know, this is a disclaimer, but still, if you're between, you know, those levels 20 to 30, maybe it's a nice thing to combine those items, because of course it comes with a nice bonus set bonus, which is like, yeah, as you can see here, 2 parts grants you 5% plus on all resistant values, 3 parts grants you 5% armor value extra, 4 parts faster travel speed increased by 5%, 5 parts 10% of increased damage, and when you complete the 6 parts, then of course you get 15% of increased critical hit value. So yeah, and of course another thing that we haven't mentioned on the, it's not written there, but of course release 159 is also focusing on a lot of bug fixing, bugs that have been appearing since the last big release 158, and even prior to those ones. We're tackling a number of those. So on the patch notes you will get a very long list, I think, of bugs that finally found a solution, which is great.
Okay, speaking of solutions. This is so funny. I just saw the commercial over there, because I reloaded the screen. If you have the problem that you have a black screen, there's you can press F5 and then reload, and you watch one commercial, and then you can see us again. So F5 if you have a black screen. Don't know why, but you know, it's Twitch. Hello,
it's Twitch. We are live, you know,
yes.
And then we cannot control this environment.
But what I wanted to say, what I wanted to say is the commercial that I watched was titled Krampus.
Campus.
Yeah, like that the new villain from the
true,
winter event.
True.
We will tell you more about it in a
Actually, I have him
related to it.
Yeah, I have him right here. Anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, this is what you can expect. The question is, when is release 159 coming? It's not coming next week. And it will probably come during the 2nd week of December, which is around the 7th, the 8th.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I thought we are almost already in December.
No, we still have some days to go. We will start already some activities before, but the release won't come until the 7th.
Yeah,
we are aiming towards the 7th, so you know, you spread the word and everything, but it's around the 7th.
Yeah.
Because the release 159, of course, also brings a very interesting thing, which is the Winter Solstice event, or the Winter Solstice Festival event, you name it, which is a very awaited event for a lot of players, I guess.
Cool. So the Winter Solstice event, as I mentioned before, if you remember last time that we had the Twitch, we were talking about a new villain in the Winter Solstice event, and on the left side of the screen you should be able to see Big Paws. This is an enemy that you might know if you've already played the Winter Solstice event, but the enemy on the right hand side that you see over there, this goat type guy with the big abs over there. Yeah, he's quite sporty, right?
It's quite sporty. I guess it's going to be a tough foe.
Yeah, this is a new enemy called he's related to the the fairy tale creature, I want to say, or mythological creature Krampus, but we will call him differently, Krampus, I think.
Krampus.
Yes, exactly. And he has an interesting story to tell, and he will be one of the main villains in the event. And more importantly, you know, who cares about that guy? More importantly is that you will be able to get a new set from him, and also a new gemstone by completing the challenges over there.
That's it.
Yeah. So what is more to tell about the event? There will be many aspects that you know already, like for example fighting against Big Paws, and it's all about Queen Victoria. Was High Britain. No.
Yeah, maybe in another universe.
In another lifetime.
Yeah, that's it.
Queen Antonia is having her winter festival, and of course It will be disrupted by Big Paws and Krampus. So what you will have to do is collect, as last year, honey cookies. But again, this time it features 2 difficulties and 3 challenges with a special guest and quest.
Yep.
And you should also know that there will be an amazing new mount.
Yes, we are introducing new rewards for those of you who already completed.
Which has a really cool story, by the way.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's worth to read the quest. The other thing that you should know is that there will be a map, a very special map, which we will be pointed out. We call it in here the calendar map.
The calendar map.
So what do you do with calendars? Well, you just open, you open it every day. So in this map, you will be able to go every day inside and then find a different reward. Obviously, you will have to do something for that, like, for example, defeat some enemies. But it will be always different. So speaking of that, after this this Twitch over here, we will sync this on the test server. So those of you who have a test character, and you want to check it out. We will also announce it on the forums, and then you can pass on some feedback.
Yes, it's cool. Some people were asking, okay, in the progress bar, what kind of rewards are we gonna have? So basically, you will have I think they were last year. I was not here, but I think they were the diligent gnome, so a lovely pet, the snowman costume, snow essences, the throw snowball emote, the solstice star, and a new super cool mount, which features a very interesting troll. So yeah, look forward to those. Of course, the difficulty system, yes, there's the normal and the hard. If you go for the hard, it's going to be harder, but the rewards, the loot drops are going to be much better, much more luring, so I would say go for the hard. And yeah, exactly, the challenges, the 3 challenges, and the progress bar, each of the challenge bars will contain a unique gem, so you can collect those gems, and of course, in the end, you will be able to craft the gem and get an even better gem. So that's pretty cool.
But we will explain it in a guide, just in case you're lazy to do it.
That's it. And also we have done some polishing. You will see the maps. The maps have been already testing the maps. They look gorgeous. Pretty much all the hubs have been changed for the occasion, and the Winter Summit map is also very nice. And we also implemented new quests. So you will see some quests are taken away, and you will have new quests given by NPC Festa, which is this lovely dwarf that is next to Queen Antonia. Of course, Drake, the groovy skeleton, he's going to have also quests.
Why is he groovy?
I don't know, I like the way he moves, and the point is that this guy always loses something,
Yeah.
He's losing always and asking us to recover those things, so he will probably ask you to recover something in Winter Summit. And we have the very cool quest of featuring the Julop family with this amazing...
Just stating, yeah.
Yes, just listen. So yeah, very, very cool, interesting thing that Julop, it's funny what the Julop family has to tell.
Yes.
And their problems and worries.
So I read, a lot of people are asking, when is this event happening? Obviously, it's starting with the next release. So you can imagine that it's not going to start before the 7th of December. So it's going to start after that.
Yeah.
And we decided to, let it run also in January, just because you know what it's like after New Year's Eve. It's these days where, what to do? Nothing to do. Party's over, year's over, what to do? So we decided to, let it run a little bit over there, so you have something to do.
That's it.
Not sit home alone when it's cold.
Exactly. So yeah, expect the event to start along with release 159, so around the 7th, and to be run for long 4 weeks.
And the other thing that I see in the chat over here, the codes that you're giving they are wrong. Yeah, we don't have bonus codes like this. So unless me and Haruki are giving you any bonus codes over there, don't listen to the people who are putting codes over there.
No.
Yeah.
They don't work. Sorry. They don't work. But yeah, there is also another thing that we teased the other day on Facebook, and it was Mr. Greg here working with his little Mac. Some people said that we really need to get you a better Mac, a better computer.
Do you hear that, company? Please?
We have our own whole system here, but Mr. Greg works better with his editing program.
Camera, Mac.
Yes.
We have everything here. Oops.
We do everything ourselves. This is like a little,
DIY studio.
Workshop. Yeah, that's it. So we teased this actually because we have another things coming up.
Next to the calendar map.
Next to the calendar map. The calendar map, as a reminder, will only be accessible through the winter solstice event. Well, actually in Kids Hill, you will see. It's close to Antonia, so when you go near Antonia, peek around, you will see some clickable thing. Boom, and you go there. But we will start with something before. We will start with a community calendar.
Yeah.
So, expect some very interesting things because...
Just to give you a little bit of a tip more how it works. What does a calendar do? Again, every day there's something to do with it. So we will basically look back at the entire year and see what have we done so far. In a way, through a calendar. So we're starting on Tuesday. So make sure that you pay attention to our social media.
Yes.
And the forum, of course, which is technically also social media.
Exactly, it's our social media. We will have these things starting on the 1st. Then around the middle month, there is going to be some kind of a counting event on the forums and some very cool prizes. It will be more of a raffle than any other thing. And we will also have every now and then some different raffles on Facebook as well. And for those designers, crazy designers out there in Dracania, we will also have a creative kind of design event. Which it also features very interesting prizes. And I would like to take the little time to mention that the costumes that we did this costume event back in September, I think it was, and we still don't have those costumes in the event. In the game. We are completely aware of that, but we would like to tell you that these costumes, they look pretty awesome. They are designed by members of this community, and they won't cost any undermount.
Yep.
So we want to make them, in-game accessible for everyone without spending any single cent, which is very nice. And I just wanted to tell you that. So we haven't forgotten about those costumes. They are coming probably with 160. 161, so beginning of next year.
Yeah, so
Cool.
to give you even more detail on this one, what we did is basically we were asked, okay, what do you guys want to do with these costumes? How do you want to put them into the game? And we're like, not they should be free, but you should be, they should be connected to a story. Yeah, and since they are based on lore tech tribes or the culture of lore tech, you will be able to we want to make sure that you can get them there. Yeah. So then. We wrote up a few ideas for a quest, and we'll see how much that gets realized, and then it will be in the game. Yeah. But for now, this is how it usually goes. You come up with an idea, you write it down, and then a bunch of other people are like, no, I want to have it like this. No, I don't want to have it like that. And then in the end, it's in the game.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And another thing, another announcement that I wanted to do is relating to the Dev Diaries video or series, which is this other kind of project that we have parallel on YouTube. So expect also during December different new episodes. We want to talk about Parallel Worlds Chapter 2 with one of our game designers, and this time it's not Jason. We are giving Jason a little break because he's the spokesman for all the designers, but we want to get other designers to talk. Sometimes it's hard, but we're trying. And we also have a special Christmas message from the Drakensang family, the Drakensang Online family here in Berlin. And one of the things that I'm really, really looking forward to, and you can see that in the icon, is that we will be interviewing the composer of the soundtrack of Lotak, or Rise of Valor, which is Jeff Broadbent, and he's a North American composer, very cool guy actually. He has composed things for Assassin's Creed Unity, PlanetSide 2, Drakensang, and everything. So I'm really, really looking forward to that interview. Yeah. And hopefully you guys as well, if you like what you hear in Lortak.
Yes, and the reason why we do things like that is, for example, there are many out there of you who create videos, but they sometimes, they can draw, or they cut videos, or they create pictures or something like that. So for those of you who are very much into sound, this might be interesting because, you might get to understand how do you create sounds for video games, and if that's your passion, you might want to listen and see what kind of chances you will have later. It's a good learning.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So and there will be more coming, but just to give you an update, that December is also full with things on YouTube. So go to YouTube, check all our videos.
As much as we love December, we hate December.
Yeah, we kind of hated the weeks before December because it's always kind of stressful, more than normal.
Yes.
It's the test your metal. It's our arena for the community managers.
Okay.
Okay, and now I'm gonna jump into
Before we do that, the life I wanted to say, those of you who are not so much into the calendar or winter solstice, remember the moon events are also going to be new.
Oh yes, but we will exactly. That is also coming with 159. We mentioned that in the last tweet, and we will mention some questions that you guys had in our questions and answers
Coming up.
That's it. And today I finished writing the little guide with all the new things. So we will send it to the translators, and we will also give it to you before the new full moon, new moon event starts at the full moon. I always get confused. New moon, new full moon. So you can check that. I mean, it changes a little bit. You have new items. There is also a new difficulty system, but we will go into that at a later stage.
Yep.
And now let's go to Life Keeper. So basically what you can see here on the graphic, it's the old stats of the of the Life Keeper, and then following the arrow you have the new ones. So actually if you have a close look to the stats, they are not changing that much. I mean, it's pretty much the same. The damage is the same, the attacks per second are the same, you have the same number of gems and everything. The only thing that it changes is what is written in blue, which is with each successful block you regenerate 0.8% of your maximum health points. Before it was 1 and now it's 0.8. So there was a lot of talking on the forums, how are you gonna nerf this weapon? It's gonna become unusable, it's gonna become crap. But actually I would say it's not such a big change, you know. And we also have the I want to tell you that all the glyphs that you have invested and the gems are going to stay. So it's pretty much you have the same weapon, only with this little tweak that applies to that effect. And actually it only triggers that effect on block direct damage. So it's just on a very, very specific moment. The rest of the stats remain the same. And then we ask our game designers, okay, so why did you change this? Why didn't you change before, on the test server? What happened here? Why are you now changing the weapon? And this is what they say. They said that we discovered that the weapon was too strong in PvP because of the healing effect got triggered for all the successful blocks, even for damage over time effects that have a very high tick frequency while causing little damage. So the weapon was designed to prove a weapon choice with a significantly increased observability while losing offense power. It was never meant to cause frustration and to allow players to become almost entirely invulnerable. We hope that the balancing adjustment better match the intended design of the philosophy of this weapon. So yeah, all of you who have already this Life Keeper will receive this new one with release 159 and the 4,500 Drakens automatically in your account. So this is what we wanted to tell you about the Life Keeper. Now you know the stats. We will also publish those, of course, on the patch notes, and you will be able to receive your new Life Keeper after release 159. And yeah, that's it. So I hope that you guys, after watching this the stats, you don't find that change. If you still find it, please come to the forums, talk about us, talk about this thing with us. But this is how the Life Keeper is going to look from now onwards.
Okay, I was trying to comment here on the chat while you're doing that. Well done. Good. Yes. I guess we're coming to one of my favorite sections, which is questions
and answers.
So what we'll do is we go quickly through this, but I'm pretty sure that we will have some time for questions on here too. Yeah, and since we're not in game today, we won't take questions from there, but from the chat.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to, since we are already going into questions, there is one user. Where are you? I kind of lost you, saying there are like bigger problems in PvP apart from this maze, and that's true. But this is the first, problem. I mean, this is something that was on the designer's pipeline, and they have tackled it, and they are not forgetting about the other PvP issues. So those come later on.
Yes.
But this is Life Keeper, and this is a completely different issue. It doesn't mean that we're stopping here. We never do. So yeah. So let's get into the questions, and later on, guys, try not to spam so much, but we will try to follow your questions here. Okay. So the first one, and this is something that maybe some of you got a problem with, is you're playing the game you're a dragon knight, let's say, and then you slay a monster, and whoa, extraordinary piece of equipment appears, and it's ranger piece of equipment.
It's a sign you should quit and become a ranger.
Exactly, that's a sign of destiny. Maybe you should start to twink with a ranger, but no, this is a bug, and it will be fixed with 159. What you can do with this? Well, I mean, you can sell them, you can melt them, you can destroy them, whatever you want to do, but they will be, you know, this won't happen anymore from 159 onwards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So next question is, what is going to happen with the vials, of werewolf blood plus Melissa's magical scroll with the reworked new and full moon events? Do we have to use them, or can we still use them, or should we not keep them? Should we delete them? What should we do with them? Keep them. We're not changing that. That would be stupid to do that, yeah? Because some of you have collected a lot of them, yeah, so, and you're using them constantly. So all the items that you need in order to summon the bosses, which is the ancestral werewolf, and Carabossa, yeah? Keep them.
Yes,
Don't
keep them.
Don't destroy them. And it wouldn't make sense for us to change that. It
No.
would not make any sense. That would make it much more difficult. So we're not changing them. Just keep them and you will be able to use them.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And the next question was also related to this. It's about, okay, not only those objects, but of course the silver essences, and this is something that concerns you, little lovely Greg.
Silver is great.
What about the silver essences and the fairy wood? We have spent a lot of time, you know, farming those things during the daylight. Are we getting rid of those? No, we are not getting rid of those. So if you have a lot of reserves, good for you guys. So they are staying. And actually the only thing that I really wanted to mention here, apart from the difficulty system that will change also for this event, you will see, and new items, is that now you are gonna need 10 realm fragments to obtain a map. This is something that we know some people are gonna find a little bit not nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, the number has, you know, increased from 7 to 10.
You know, like when I take the metro or the tram over here in Berlin, and I'm like, oh great, the prices went up. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I don't do that. Yeah, I would also be like, why? Why did they do that? Was it necessary?
I know.
But to be honest with you, like if you play especially in the parallel world, you will realize that you get quite a few.
Yeah, the drop.
Yeah, the drop is quite good. I guess in a run, I just did a test run, for example, in Grimmackstone, and I had 5 at least. So, and then there was just one quick run, and that was
True.
okay.
True.
So, I guess that's okay. And again, you know, it's not forever. We can also go back to something. Yeah. Cool. So the next question is a question that
How do I stop my warrior's nipples from screaming when I put on my torso?
We don't know that. We think that you should not consume what you consume.
Like that to start with?
Yes.
Some oil may help, maybe?
Yeah.
I guess that you can, you know, buy some ointment in one of the hubs.
Okay.
That will help you with your issue.
But now back to information.
Yes, back to business.
And back away from your nipples. So, some of you might remember in the forums, but also in the test server, there was a belt, a new belt on the test server called the Belt of Zeal. Oh, yeah. And we wanted to make sure that this would be implemented in the game. It has not been implemented in the game, and people are asking why. The reason is it had quite interesting stats, which is why people probably thought it was popular. And we haven't implemented in the game because this item needs to be balanced before. This doesn't mean that we're never going to implement it, but it has not been balanced yet. So if it gets rebalanced and if it's then still attractive for you, we will implement it.
That's it. Another question that keeps on repeating itself, and we like to bring it on because I know that for some smaller servers who are struggling to find PvP opponents and everything, it's about the account migration. So what is happening with account migration? Do you have some more progress here? To be honest with you, no, this is an issue that is still ongoing. It's our desire to bring this account migration. We still, of course, have to define the conditions, especially for PvP, whether you're going to keep your rank, whether you're not going to keep your rank, whether we need to reset some values there because, you know, you will arrive to a brand new server. So yeah, this is something still in the pipeline, but it has been pushed for other features, so it will arrive on a later stage. And unfortunately, we cannot really say when. But it's still on the making. So we know the struggle is real for some people in Tegan and some people in Agathon. We know that, and we are on it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just reading here. What I wanted to say about the account migration, for those of you who don't know what this is, yeah, because you know there's always people who never seen this. Account migration means basically imagine you're on server Heridur, yeah, and you would want to switch to server Grima. This feature allows you to do that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So your character that you have on one server can be shifted to the other server. Now, why do we know that this is in the making? Because we've seen the design for it, and we also have our private test server, which is actually, you know, not as good as the regular test server. I've seen already a feature in the character selection where you like some sort of UI user interface that hints to that, yeah. But so far it has not been completed, so we're still working on that. It's a little complicated because you have to imagine. So, what if all of a sudden everybody wants to go in this server? What if everybody wants to go on that server? There needs to be some sort of balance, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's easier said than done. Cool.
True.
And I hope Daywaker listened to this one because I'm pretty sure he's very interested in that feature. Now, let's continue with another question.
Mm-hmm.
Question. I find it quite annoying that we have to rerun the dungeons prior to the bosses, that we cannot just enter their rooms again as before. We're talking about the parallel worlds, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any plans to actually revert the situation to the one we had before release 158? No. I'll tell you why. Because before that, it used to be the case that many people would just go to the Ocean of Bones, yeah, Halls of the Dead, and just farm that, and that's it. And that's all what they were doing. What they try to do with the parallel worlds now, with the experience, is that first of all, you get the complete new experience by having to unlock all of them again. Sounds a little bit like work, but those of you who've played through realize that it's actually faster than they thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I read the comments, yeah. And the other thing about this is, but while doing that, you might discover that some other map that you play now is actually much more lucrative, or maybe even equally lucrative as what you know, Halls of the Dead and Ocean of Bones used to be before release 158. That's the entire reason. Basically, instead, to put it in other words, imagine you eat always spaghetti bolognese, yeah, and every day there's spaghetti bolognese. At some point, we're like, why don't you try? Yeah, there's spaghetti bolognese, but you can try also spaghetti Napoli. Maybe you like that more, yeah, or spaghetti carbonara.
I love your spaghetti metaphors.
It's because I'm hungry.
I love carbonara. That's my best.
Okay.
But back to business, shall we?
Yeah.
One question, very direct and straightforward. Are you bringing new level 50 cloaks into the game? And yes, we are actually, we have 2 new quests, I mean cloak quest, or like quests, you know, by completing this quest you can get the cloaks, and it's gonna be, one is gonna be level 19, 20 cloak. So for the rookies, come on, the rookies also deserve our love.
The rookies of Haruki.
The rookies of Haruki, yeah, that's it. That's my new guild, and also we are going to introduce a new level 50 cloak with a quest, and this will arrive, yeah, probably by the beginning of next year. So yeah, look forward to it. I think there is also even, yeah, like Kaelin cloak on the air.
Let's just say it that way. Our dearest Kaelin Lefray will be. Probably have some sort of legacy, maybe a cloak, maybe a costume, or something like that.
Something.
And at least it kind of, if you play through the game, you will know where this item will drop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, keeping things short. Yes, we're introducing new quests, new cloaks for different range of levels, which is nice. And there you go.
Cool. And the next question.
A cloak.
Yeah, is about glyphs of power. Yeah.
Cloak.
Don't swallow the L in that word.
I know.
Yeah, cloak. Yeah?
Cloak.
Okay. Can you tell us something about the exorbitant glyphs of power prices that? What? Why are you laughing? Oh God. Okay, it's Friday. Sorry, I will repeat the question for you again. Can you tell us something about the exorbitant prices of glyphs of power that we still need to level up our items. Leveling up extraordinaries and legendaries up to a certain point is no longer possible. Okay, first of all, apologies. The questions that we take, they sometimes come from people who are not native to English, which is why the grammar is sometimes like this. Yeah. So basically, it means why are the prices for glyphs of power still so high? That's a good question. And it's a valid question. The thing is, it looks like it's a high price because you see a lot of zeros or a lot of numbers in there, and that you need in order to update an item. What we could do, obviously, is what any country would do that has inflation. We would, bam, introduce default and create a new currency, and cut all the zeros and be like, okay, in order to upgrade one level, you need one glyph of power. Yeah, but this design originally was designed in that way that you basically need a lot of glyphs of power, because it shouldn't be super easy to do that. You need this resource, yeah, and the formula behind it, yeah, it could be reworked. So, but in the end, I'm telling you, whether you have to farm 10 million points or 10, what will probably be the case is that if you have to gather 10 million points, you will have to smelt a lot of weapons. But if we were to say, okay, it's only 10 points, then probably you will get only less value out of a smelted weapon. This is what I'm saying. So in the end, it's kind of the same. The other thing, and this is, I guess, what this person wants to know, is why in general are these prices so high? Well, because when you want to upgrade an item, it should feel like a progress that takes effort, but yeah, again, we might be introducing a new system in terms of smelting, so maybe by that time it will be also revamped. We don't know that yet, so I can't say yes, we will change it. Yeah?
That's it.
But the new system that we're talking about is basically taking glyphs out of items without destroying them.
That's it. Another topic that causes some stir in our community is the combat value feature, which was introduced in 1.5.8. So apparently we got already some feedback. I mean, some people are enjoying it, some people are not, and they think that this feature should get some tweaks and should get different because the formulas are not understandable and they are misleading and they don't really help. Honestly, okay. First problem was that actually when sometimes you found an item that was supposed to increase or decrease, especially increase your relative, combat value, the number, it wouldn't get counted automatically. So it was a little delay there. So of course it was misleading sometimes because it wouldn't really show if you really got a better item. So sometimes you couldn't really trust. This is a bug. And it's going to be corrected with 1.5.9. So once that's been fixed, then of course it's going to be more automatic and it's going to be more like immediate, Okay, I do this, I do that, I see that this is increasing, decreasing. Now, another thing is that the formulas, I think a lot of people on the forums are really, really good, veterans of the game, and they really think about, stats, formulas, numbers, mathematics behind it. The formula for the combat value system, of course, is very complicated and it takes a lot of considerations, a lot of attributes. Is your defensive values, your attacking values, is your skills, is the skills you have on the honor system, on the normal skill system, is these assets, it's a lot of, things come to play. And it's not meant to be like an absolute system of, truth, or something that you really can use, like this is absolute. No, it's more of a relative system that kind of pinpoints in the direction of, okay, is for players who are not so, well versed in the game, and it kind of shows you, okay, my number increases, so there we go, I'm going to use this ring. Oh, my number stays the same or decreases, then I'm not going to use it. So what we will propose, and this is something that has been proposed, is maybe we can make this feature go offline. So kind of you can decide whether to see the number or not to see the number. This is something that we could do. But yeah, we want to see how, after fixing this thing with the notifications, how everyone reacts to it, because it's going to be more automatic. And so yeah, hopefully this explains a little bit more. And another thing that some people were talking was about creating a offensive combat value and a defensive combat value. two extra numbers, you know, and this is something that we don't really want. We don't want to put more numbers on the user interface because it gets quite complicated, you know, when you enter in the game. So we will keep the combat value as it is. But any other suggestion you want to give us about it, please keep on coming. Our moderators are really writing big feedbacks, compilations about what you guys are saying. So please let us know.
Cool.
I know I talked a lot, but...
No, that's okay. It's just I've been tracking the questions over here, and I will answer some of them in a minute, but let's finish this. So, I really like this question. It's interesting. Are there any plans to add an online voice chat? Yeah, Vivox has been added to other games with great success. To be honest with you, not really, because we're not... there are so many tools, for example, TeamSpeak, or Ventrilo, or even that racer tool, that are doing that much better than we would do. So what I can imagine is that you could create some sort of plugin that you can do it directly. But why would we create a new tool for that if there's already something which is pretty decent and everybody uses it? You know, it's kind of why reinvent the tire. So for that question, but next to you.
Another one that I was also saw in the forums back in the days was, does Drakensang plan to go to the full distance and turn from a browser-based light MMORPG to a full-scale game? Or does itself, it's basically the question of this user is whether we see ourselves, becoming something like bigger, more getting away from the browser experience and try to pull for a complete, box kind of title, I would say, even if we are online. And yes, a lot of people still think of our game as a browser game, and it got a lot of, prizes back in the days because of the browser experience. But it's something that we are really slowly trying to get away from. We really think that the thin client and all the possibilities that this environment creates, for better performance, better systems, more complicated world or more immersive world across all, different kind of factors, it's where we want to go. So at the moment, as you may know, we are busy with our, of course, Drakensang Online here in, in Europe, North America, South America, our global version, and then there is also a Korean version, and there will be a Chinese version. So this should give already an idea that we are expanding, and it's not that we are stopping right now. We are like, we really want to get forward. We really want to push another content expansion, bring another class, bring those guild battles. We want to bring the guild halls and other number of features that, they are minor, but they are also important. So yes, we really want to get into that way where we say, no, we want to create a competitive scene, we want to create rankings, we want to do all of these things. So yeah, it's a slow development because it's true that it's a smaller studio when you compare it to bigger ones, but yes, we want to get there.
Yay. Okay.
Yay.
Good. And another question that I have over here is an interesting question about commerce, and it's still loading here, and I don't know why, but I will just answer this one. When we buy a mount, say for example for 20 gold, and we make a mistake, why can't we sell it back for the same amount? Basically, it's the principle of returning something. Now some clothing stores or something have this principle that you can return it for the same price. But usually in RPGs, it's the way that if you sold it, or if you bought it and if you want to sell it, then it has been already used. So then if you sell it back, you don't get exactly the same amount. The problem with this one is, it's simply not the mechanic of the game like that. What does happen is, however, if you've already sold it and you want to get it back, that's possible, but not for the same price. We could kind of introduce it, but I guess people never really thought about it. I don't know, it was never really a big issue, or at least not many people thought about it too much. The other thing that you could think of is to implement maybe some sort of security system that, are you sure you want to do this purchase? But
again, a lot of people, this is of course something, some people would like to have a confirmation window, but some people find confirmation windows annoying.
So then you give them a little check at the window and don't ever display this message again, and then, the same mistake happens again. So I guess yeah, what one could think of is what's the equivalent price that you would be able to sell something back. Like for example, 75% of the original price. Yeah, that's something one could think about it. So. Sure.
Okay. Another question, and this I took it because I think I know what this is. I understand it. It was basically a question from a female player. She says, as a female player, I was delighted when I could use my damsel costume without a cape. But now the cape is back on my costume. Is there any way we can revert the change? And I was talking with a lead, with Mabruk, one of our lead artists, and I was thinking, well, can we do this? Can we not do this? So apparently the issue was that when the cape was hidden, for the costume, some people complained that their characters look like, let's say, cheerful ladies of the street.
Street
like
workers.
the boosty ladies in the in the cities.
Yeah.
And then we said, okay, then we are gonna revert it. And now some people find it wrong. So what we are going to do is launch a next poll on Facebook and also on the forums, and we want to hear your opinion. It would be nice to know if you guys would like to have a feature that allows you to hide or unhide your cape. So or your cloak. So you have the cape there, you have your stats there applying to your character, but maybe you cannot see it. This would be an interesting feature, I would say. So we will launch a poll, and please let us know what you think. We will put it on Facebook and on the forums as well.
Yeah, but you can already imagine what if we implement this, then people are. And what about the helmets?
Yeah,
why not the helmets?
But the helmets is also because me, for example, I'm a player that lots of times when I'm playing other titles, I don't like helmets.
Yeah.
I like to see myself shiny and nice. So yeah, but I want the stats of the helmets.
Good. And now the last question from here, and then we can answer some of your questions because there are quite some interesting ones. So, some buffs were available only in the old Watery Gate, yeah? So, for example, the Ghostly Anglerfish, the Ancient Rum, Blessed Shipbell, Balm of the Soul. These buffs, will we be able to buy them back from the city of Cardun, the splintered city of Cardun, the hub for the parallel worlds? Or will you introduce new sellers or something like this? Obviously it's a new map, so some of the sellers have not returned there. You could still get the buffs in other places, but I haven't seen any concrete plans that these buffs will return to the very same place. We can ask for players to do for the game designers to do so, but I think the reason behind them is not necessarily because they wanted to get rid of these NPCs. It's just they wanted to have. If you go to visit all of the cities, you can find so many different buffs. Yeah, with different icons, and I think they want to create something more united, so simpler. So but if you really want them back, we can certainly talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And now I want to take some of the questions that I see over here. People have asked us over here about the troll mount. Yeah. The troll mount is a mount that we showed last time in Twitch. I showed it to you guys, that it's in the current release, and it will be made available right now. There are 3 different versions of it that I've seen. One is the regular one, then you have one with a soldier costume basically, and another one that has a Santa costume. Yeah, so they will be made available throughout the next period. But yeah, since you asked. Yeah, goes your question.
That's it. Another question that I see keep on repeating there is, what about the Dragon Egg set? This we already mentioned a lot of times. Is coming the next time with Nob. So don't worry. And it will be scalable. It will be a new version. So it's coming. And when is Nob coming? Probably 160 or 161. So beginning of next year. Keep your dragons there.
Okay. First of all, if you... that user over there, Chivi or Chi80 or whatever, first of all, you can read, yeah? So if you buy something, then pay attention to what it says. It's a pre-sale. If a troll is the troll mount is made available to you through a pre-sale, that means that you're buying it now and then you're getting it later. Yeah? It's not like you're buying it, you will never get it. So stop insulting people, especially us, because we're not the ones who make the sales, okay? Just in general, if you insult people, don't expect a reasonable answer. It's easy as that. Yeah.
Okay, another thing that I keep on seeing, well, actually not here, but I saw it on the forums, and our mods also talked about it. is apparently a lot of people on parallel worlds are already stacking up a lot of materia fragments to the point where you are reaching 9,999, and then another icon appears on the inventory.
Yeah.
So we have written already this question to the team. We will see how it goes. So what we can tell you is that we are not turning the materia fragments into a currency. That would be too complicated. That will already put another currency on the system, and we're trying to simplify this. So let's see if we can maybe increase the stackability of the materia fragments a little bit higher. So we will keep you updated. But yes, we are hearing, and we know that you guys are already hitting up. Like, what do you do with all those materia fragments?
Yeah. Well,
shiny materia fragments. I mean, I know what they do, but eventually you will buy everything, no?
The difference between them is. I know that we mentioned that they're now considered a currency, but what we mean by that is you have the currencies like glyphs of power and undermine and stuff, which you do not have in your inventory.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have things like that, which are similar to the gilded clovers. Yeah, and what we mean by they're regarded as currency is that you can exchange them for other items at NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but adding them now somewhere on a list, I think that would be too much. I mean, considering that we also now implemented the combat value system, and more numbers on the screen.
More numbers.
Yes.
To confuse us. Also, another thing I was reading, what about the gear customization? So we finished the poll, or we will finish it today. The results are pretty clear. Like, the majority of you guys doesn't mind this feature and actually kind of likes it. The fact that you can, exchange your looks of the gear you're wearing without, changing the stats. So I have for example, I don't like the Ammon helmet, and I would like to have another helmet of my inventory, but with the stats of the Ammon set, or the Ammon helmet. So we heard you. We said, okay, this is a feature that most of you like, and now we will start working on the design. So
I saw a question there from Alex Kids 84, but written in Greek, about when are we able to combine 4 unique items. I think what you mean is, maybe you didn't listen to us before, or you just tuned in. 159, so in 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks, you will be able to craft the Ammon set and the new sets which are introduced with that release that you find in the parallel worlds. Yeah. So then you will be able to craft them.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
What else do we have? Let's see.
I can tell you now that we are not giving a bonus code. We are not giving a bonus code.
And there's a reason why, because soon you will be getting 25 bonus codes.
That's it, so don't worry. Will there be an option to have more than 4 tools on the server? Yes, when the new archetype arrives.
Yeah.
And we will give you an extra, of course, an extra.
We should pay attention to the 5th of December. Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
But yeah. You will probably have when we put this. It's true. Hurry up, guys! You only have 3 minutes left. God damn it! You're mathematical, boy.
Okay.
So I don't know if we can take the last one. I think I also heard
That's a nice one. I actually like this.
Which one?
Train 514 says, "Will there be an event where you will be able to fight against the admins?" That would be actually great. That would be really, really great. I'll tell you what it is though. Our admins, they are private players too, and they have private accounts too, and they don't want to be sometimes annoyed. There are some people out there who will be like, "You're an admin, can't you do this? Can't you do this for me?" And if we were to reveal the characters of the admins, some of them might get annoyed. So what we could do is, of course, we could create characters and flag them as admins, and then you could play against them. That's actually a nice idea.
Yeah.
But we're not so sure if everybody would be up for that, but we can write it down. And
okay, so shall we jump already to the raffle?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, the raffle, you know how it goes. It went really good this time, really. I seen less people repeating emails, which is really nice. You're getting the basic rules of this raffle. So here we have it. Go. It takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, the transition always takes a little bit.
But yeah, basically this is our lovely raffle. So everyone is going to get 1 week premium plus all those items. which are everything included, and of course the lucky guy that gets the other premium thing will get 30 days on top, so another month, and the other one is just 10,000. So let's go for it. What is it? Ta-da! That's it. So congratulations everyone. Marila White, Magian, Jaf Turka, Nor91, Dardario, if you are here, scream, yes, you got something. You will get the things right after the Twitch. We will send those things. For the person, FEB, the one that gets the cloak of, what cloak was that one? Cloak of that crowd room, that's it. We will see which one is your highest level character, and we will send the cloak to that one.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it, guys.
That was it. And
that was it.
We hope you found it informative. We would actually love to play in the game more rather than always giving information. But you know, the game is growing and we're getting so much information that needs to be sent out to you. And we're trying our best, seriously, guys.
Okay.
So
that's it. So the next Twitch will happen in 2 weeks' time, I think. That will already be, you know, with release 159, with a winter event, so we will have a lot of things to comment.
Or to correct.
Or to correct, that's it. Stay tuned for YouTube, stay tuned for all these lovely, you know, bonus codes that are coming. And yeah, and then we will see you on the forums, we will see you on Facebook, so drop by and say hello. Yeah,
and remember, December 1st, we're starting the calendar.
Yes, and what I want to say, because, well, we will tease this, but you need to be very, very, let's say, up to date with that calendar, okay? Yeah. This is a calendar that doesn't wait. So, yeah, you will see. Check on YouTube very soon.
And on this instance, we want to say also thank you to all the mods for doing such a great job and empowering us. Okay.
Yes. Okay, guys, then have a lovely weekend and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Ciao.